All right, let's get after it. Another installment. 3/18/2025, 4:46 p.m. Now that I think about it, I don't think I actually said the time and date in the last episode.
We're too hyped to be on video.
Yeah, we were way too hyped. We look a lot better.
Yeah.
We look a lot better. We got lighting. We have a sign, unfortunately, that doesn't work. I mean, it does work, but it doesn't work with the camera we use. Just for the sake of talking about it, I will show you guys real quick. It's two. It doesn't pick it up. Unfortunately, even if I drop it to like a dimmer color, it doesn't pick it up. No matter what, it just doesn't do it.
That looks really good.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, but it is what it is. We'll get that figured out eventually.
Is that our new official live sign or?
No, I don't think it can be. It looks awful. It will be at some point. At one point. For now, we'll just keep using the Miller Lite sign, which you guys saw last episode with Tony. Finally saw, and for those of you that didn't see it, it's that one, Miller Lite, De Bears. So, yeah, not too much happened unless you're a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Then things happen.
Things are, and then things are going to also be happening for the next couple years because you guys are going to win like 4 games a year.
Yeah, unless you guys can somehow make some trades, draft well enough. I don't know. It's crazy. I guess that front office just really has high expectations of drafting and trading. I don't know.
I guess, yeah. So basically, I'm sure people have seen, but the Bengals finally signed Jamar Chase. He got what he wanted. He's now the highest non-QB, highest paid non-QB NFL history. $162.5 million over 4 years with 115 guaranteed. That's absurd.
Insane.
They also paid T. Higgins as well, making them the highest paid wide receiver duo. T. Higgins got a 4-year, $115 million deal.
Yep.
My goodness.
So money was spent on 4 players for the Cincinnati Bengals. 44% of their cap space is spent on 4 players.
Who's the fourth?
Cornerback. What's his name?
No, not Eli Apple, because he just got traded.
No, Eli Apple. Let me look it up. Because he also just got signed. Or extended. Whatever. I'm looking for it. Maybe this was not this year, but last. I'm trying to find it. But either way.
Is it in the DMs?
Might be. Let's check. Maybe. Not that one. Nope, it's not.
It is not. Well, either way, apparently he's not too important, so.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how what happens to Trey Hendrickson now. Even more interesting because
apparently trying to retain him.
I know they are, and that's what doesn't make any sense because they were trying to let him walk, and other teams weren't picking him up because he wanted $30 to $32 million a year.
Yeah, he wants
so like, what the fuck are the Bengals gonna have to pay him if he stays there? Like, I just don't. I mean, there's no. You said if they got 44% of their cap tied up in 4 guys.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put another $30 million a year, minimum $30 million a year with him. Like, dude, that eats up. That's all your fucking cap.
Yeah, I don't know who you're not going to be able to pay anyone.
And you're not going to be able to, like, this will be interesting. Granted, it's only, 3 offensive players as opposed to, like, an entire baseball team. But, like, this is about to be, like, what the fucking Dodgers did. Like, they're just spend as much money as possible and hope to win with scoring 55 points a game and no defense.
Yeah, I mean,
That's literally what their season's going to be. Like, it's going to look very similar to this year.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great.
And that's a maybe. What if Jamar Chase gets fucking hurt? Like, in the first 5 weeks of the season? Or T. Higgins? Like, what if, I mean, you're
It
down
could
to,
happen.
I mean, it's so crazy to spend that much money. I mean, well, deservedly so. I mean, obviously they could have paid him last year. They chose not to, and it bit him in the ass. But
Yep.
I just don't know how that team goes forward after spending this much money. I mean, you could draft and trade what you want, but
It's what Joe Burrow wanted.
yeah, I mean,
It's what he wanted. So, I guess he gets what he wants, you know? I mean, it's what they wanted as well. I mean, both of those guys wanted to stay. Obviously, again, it's just, like you're saying, not really feasible. I mean, it obviously is because they did it, but it's not smart, I should say.
down the road wise, no.
No, it's going to be not good. I mean, I'm sure they're going to restructure contracts, clear cap space, turn stuff over into signing bonuses. They're going to do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, they'll do the typical salary cap gymnastics,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, like, and they've been too good for the last 5 years to have any decent draft pick, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean, they're about
besides this year.
Yeah, this year, and I mean, they're not even that far off this year. They're kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, where they're going to make that up is going to be very interesting to see how that unfolds. I cannot wait to see how the Bengals unfold because that's the other thing. There's going to be a lot of people waiting to shit on that team the moment one of those guys gets hurt.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's just the internet in general. They're going to be people just wait. They live for that kind of stuff where it's just like, oh, you guys are idiots. You know, look at all that money you spent, and he's not even on the field.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they live for that kind of stuff. It's inevitable.
Yeah, it is. That's crazy though. I like actually still am flabbergasted at
I agree.
how they did that. I really thought they were going to franchise tag T. Higgins again.
Well, they did.
But I thought when a franchise tag, they only pay him $26 million.
Yeah, they franchise tagged him, but then they ended up extending him.
Okay. That's crazy.
This is pretty funny because of the fact that we were just talking about him last episode. Jordan Mason got traded.
Yeah, go figure.
So, yeah. Who's going to back up CMC now when he goes down?
Isaac Arendo.
Yeah. Who's going to back him up when he goes down?
I forget their new third string running back's name.
Lotion.
I can't remember who.
Nevertheless, I mean,
the
I don't
third
actually
stringer
care who he
is.
is. It's just the fact that all this depth that we were talking about how they had at running back is now gone.
I don't know if it's gone because as long as that O-line, I mean, the running game there works because of their offensive scheme and their offensive line talent.
Which they lost 2 offensive linemen.
Yes. But
Not
know-
saying obviously they can't develop more guys because San Francisco is known at being pretty good at that kind of thing.
Patrick Taylor, that's their other running back.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's out of Memphis. He's 26. I don't know. I didn't take a look at when he got drafted, but the way that they move the ball every time, it's the same shit. Like CMC went down, everyone thought the season was over. Jordan Mason comes in, rips it up. No problem. He goes out. Isaac Arendo comes in, runs for 180 fucking yards. I mean, that one play, remember he like took a knee before the end zone when he's about to get his first touchdown. Like,
Yeah.
their run game is just ridiculous. So
Did they make the playoffs? No, right?
No, they didn't.
I didn't think so.
No.
Nevertheless, doesn't matter.
He went. Jordan Mason went to the Vikings, by the way.
He did. Sorry, I did not give you guys the breakdown. It was to Minnesota. Minnesota sends them a 2026 6th round pick and the 160th pick of this year. And San Francisco obviously sends Jordan Mason and this year's 187th pick. If I'm Jordan Mason, I'm a little upset, if I'm being honest. Just because the disrespect aspect of it, he could look at it and be like, all I'm worth is a 6th round pick. But then also, Jordan Mason really doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to that because, yes, he had one good year. How does he turn out next year?
Yeah, I'd like to see how he's gonna shape up there in Minnesota, but
I would assume well. I mean,
he seemed promising.
yeah.
I mean, he definitely looked promising, but we'll definitely find out the difference between the offensive line abilities and
100%.
just the scheme
Definitely.
in general.
I trust KOC, though, to get him going.
Yeah.
If not, Shanahan, definitely KOC is another one of those guys that I would trust. And speaking of trust, the reason why they had to get rid of Jordan Mason is because they ended up re-signing Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. That was a curveball.
I did not. So apparently, you've seen that video. So I don't actually know how it works, but there was something that like they would have ended up having to pay him more if they had to release him and re-sign him and to work semantics out with money.
What we were expecting with like the Von Miller thing.
Yeah. So they were just going to release him just to bring him back on a better deal or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know. I don't have like a Harvard or Yale degree to understand the NFL salaries and caps and all that stuff because you truly do need one to figure that out. Same thing with baseball. Like, why is it so complicated?
Yeah.
To like figure all this stuff out. Like in baseball, it's like, well, if we don't sign at this point, we're going to arbitration and doing all this stuff. I'm like, God, it's a headache. It's a lot.
It basically all just ends up coming down to them prorating every deal, so it gets pushed off like 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much.
That's all they fucking do.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's whatever. But yes, nevertheless, Kyle Juszczyk comes back to the 49ers. So there you go. I know we were in question of we were questioning where he would go.
That's a guy, I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have minded if the Bears signed him.
The Bears, so yes.
Like Ben Johnson doesn't run like a fullback style offense. Like obviously you only have like the Niners and
but
the Ravens.
But they extended Travis Homer, so
yeah, that's what I mean. Like
yeah, I mean it's yeah, it would have been fine. I think it would have been on the Bears because I don't trust the Bears. It would have been literally just more of a name. It would have been like one of those name situations.
The only argument I would make is his ability to block.
Yes,
like if you look at every hole that CMC basically had throughout the last 2 years, it's Juszczyk in there making that hole. He's following Kyle Juszczyk. That's exactly what happens on every play virtually. So, man, if we like you thinking of like drafting, we're talking about drafting a running back and this and that, like to have you already beefed up the O-line and then to have a guy like Juszczyk who's in there to get in there and block and open, I mean, it would have been sick.
It would have.
But
I just, again, when it comes to the Bears, I do not trust that team, that organization.
Yeah,
I don't get hyped anymore.
No,
I don't. It's okay. We obviously, again, then we have more money being spent this offseason. Derek Stingley gets extended. Pat Surtain, Jalen Johnson, all these high-end cornerbacks, their contracts are looking like absolute steals compared to what these guys are getting now. Jalen Johnson's getting paid $19 million a year.
Yeah, well, they are steals because, I mean, it just depends on when your shit times out.
Yeah.
It's like the Jamar Chase thing. Like,
yeah.
If his shit would have timed out 2 years ago, it wouldn't have been.
Bears fans are at the point right now where they're hyping up Ryan Poles because of the fact that, like, one day they hate him, one day they love him. Well, they're hyping him up right now because they're saying, Ryan Poles is really good about getting contract extensions before the market blows up.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jalen Johnson gets extended. I can't remember if it was last offseason or the season prior. But yeah, tomorrow they'll probably hate him again. It's whatever. I still am very on the fence with Ryan Poles. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, he's going to have to build some trust back for me, but so far so good in the offseason.
He's a god, offseason god. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I'll give him that for sure. We also have kind of bittersweet news for Philly fans.
There's a lot of news for Philly fans.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of, I guess important, though, is Brandon Graham retires.
Yeah.
He retired, hung his cleats on the Rocky statue, and said, I did it the way you should. I went out on top.
Smart move. Props to him.
I don't hate that take because you see a lot of these guys, like, they're great, they're awesome, and then they are kind of fizzling out.
Yeah.
And they kind of end, like, on a tarnish your reputation type thing, you could say.
Pretty much, yeah. He had a great career.
He did. Long career.
Honestly, kind of an underrated defensive end. Like, never really got talked about much.
I agree.
Unless you were watching, like, an Eagles game.
Yep, I agree.
But speaking of, like, more negative for the Philadelphia Eagles, They lost O lineman Mekhi Becton
I
to
saw
the
that.
Chargers.
That is not good.
I couldn't believe that. Like, man, they have like. I want to one day run back and like look at all the shit that they've lost this offseason, because a lot of it was O line and D line. I mean,
Yeah, it's not good.
let's see if Saquon's worth fucking $30 million a year next year, whatever he's getting paid, 20. I mean, boy, that's gonna be really interesting. That's bad news for them, but good on the Chargers. I like that. That's massive for them.
Getting Justin Herbert that protection he needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a thing about Justin Herbert actually that someone kind of went on a rant and said people need to stop calling him elite.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done anything. They said, yes, okay, granted, look at what he's had to deal with. You can argue all that stuff. But they're like, they put like a breakdown of all his stats and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you kind of got a point. I never actually had ever been on the boat of Justin Herbert's elite. I think Justin Herbert is on the cusp of eliteness.
Yeah.
He's pretty dang good, but I wouldn't put him like top 10.
I would agree with that, and I think that cusp, like that ice that he just can't break through, has been because of the shit that's going on with the team, like the coaching and everything else.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is what's...
People constantly clown him though. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I've been seeing memes this week of like Justin Herbert. I forgot what they memed him with, but they're like, call this Justin Herbert because it never shows up when you need it to.
I mean, everyone's gonna talk shit. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like it
100%.
doesn't even matter
Yeah.
like what stage, because it's so fun. You know, you look at Patrick Mahomes. This guy's like literally the top of the top of the mountain, like the highest you could get, and it's people are talking shit on him. So it doesn't really matter if you're the best quarterback in the league or the worst.
Yeah,
You're gonna get shit from both ends.
100%.
That's just how it goes.
100%.
But yeah, Justin Herbert, I agree. He's always kind of been like on the borderline of like elite quarterback talent, and I do think it's been because of like lack of weapons, the lack of coaching, lack of just pieces offensively mostly. And then like watching him, the reason I like him so much is he reminds me of like Baker Mayfield. Like Justin Herbert is not scared to fucking just run right into someone and truck the shit on him. Like he's a fucking dog.
Yeah.
He's talking shit. Like he's in dudes'
I agree.
faces. Like he's a big motherfucker and he loves it. He's got like that Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen style, like run right at you.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll try and sling the pill all over the yard as much as he can. Like he's kind of a gunslinger. So it gets him in trouble here and there. But that's one thing that I really like about him. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they pan out this year, because second year under Harbaugh now, they've made some pretty decent moves this offseason. I'm curious to see what they do in the draft. But that's a team that I think is going to be it. That's a tough one. I mentioned last week about the Broncos
Yeah,
getting up there. I think the Chargers are going to be another one of those teams that like they're going to be kind of a force to be reckoned with, I think.
I think it'll be a good division overall. I think like
Yeah.
their division just in general
Except
will
for the
be
Raiders.
pretty good. Yeah, I mean,
except for the Raiders.
That's
Geno Smith's going to get hurt by week 3, and then they'll be just back to fucking.
Yeah.
Who's their? I don't even know who their backup is now.
Aiden O'Connell.
Oh yeah, I guess it's still Woody. Yeah, it's O'Connell. Yeah, that's
What did I always call him? I always call him AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron. Yeah. Speaking with Philly, still going back to them, they did, on a good note, they did pay Lane Johnson.
I saw
They
that.
kept
as
their
well.
tackle, Lane Johnson.
I did see that.
They reworked his contract to add $8 million over the next 2 years and an additional $30 million in guarantees. He's about to be 35, but he's going to earn $48 million over the next 2 years. So good on him. He's
That's
a monster.
solid. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's actually pretty good.
He is a monster. So thank God they kept one piece. That was a plus for them, shockingly. And that on the Mekhi Becton trade, this is crazy. So because of losing him, this is like basically how all their picks are going. After losing free agent Mekhi Becton, the Eagles are now poised to have 2026 compensatory picks in rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they already have the Jets' 3 pick in 2026 because of the Hassan Reddick trade. They're now expected to have 5 of the top 100 picks and 12 picks overall in the 2026 draft. That is how
It's a lot of
they
draft
can afford
capital.
to lose the pieces that they've lost on the lines this year.
Yeah, that's a lot of draft capital.
Dude, that's a lot. Like 12 total picks and let alone 5 in the top 100. You're talking about like being able to draft dogs on like in the trenches.
Yeah.
Let alone to have Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell coming up over the next 2 years. Like your secondary is gonna be good, like lockdown. Like, man, that's like one thing they got going for them where it's not the end of the world that they've got.
No, I mean they'll be good. They'll still be fine.
Yeah,
I think they'll still be okay.
They did also lose Paris Campbell, their wide receiver.
I saw that.
He signed with the Cowboys.
I don't know how much of a factor that really plays, that really hurts him. Any at all?
Not at all, virtually. But this is now the 3rd team he has played for in the NFC East.
So obviously that speaks volumes, because that's a guy that teams don't care to trade or get rid of or lose to a
division
rival.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. He's kind of irrelevant, but
yeah. So I want to talk about this real quick, kind of staying on that side of the country. Did you see the video that was released today? So I don't know where they're coming up with the money. Obviously through the sponsorship, after paying Myles Garrett and obviously Deshaun Watson.
Oh no.
The Browns are getting a new stadium. Yeah, they are getting a dome. They are getting a brand new stadium. It's going to be called Huntington Bank Field.
Whoa, dude. No way.
Yeah.
Original.
I know, dude. I know. I'm just saying that it's going to be nuts. The video, it actually does look pretty cool. The stadium does look nice.
Of course.
I mean, it's going to be nice, but yeah, sorry, guys. You guys are going to be garbage for a while.
I mean, that was already the case, but yeah, Jesus, that's crazy.
It's not like...
Why?
It truly is not getting better for Browns fans.
Well, it clearly seems that ownership has its priorities in order.
It's, I mean, it's just, most of them just want to make money.
I mean, legit, like those, I feel so bad for Browns fans. I do and I don't because I'm a Bears fan. So,
yeah.
But
I
like,
mean,
the Browns are
kind of
worse.
relatable. Honestly, not, because our stadium is the smallest in the league.
That is true. I mean, I'm not talking just stadium. I mean, like as a whole, the Browns are a worse franchise than the Bears. But
yeah, they're down bad.
That is crazy. Like, what the hell made them decide to do that out of nowhere? Do they really think that's gonna like appease anybody? Like,
I mean, it's gonna draw in more people. They could host a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's literally it.
Yeah, it's just, to me, seems like a crazy
I think it's
move.
silly. Personally, I think it's silly.
Like, you see Browns fans, it's a lot like Bears fans, it's a lot like Packers fans, it's, you know, any team.
They're pretty
Bills
devoted.
Fans.
They love their team.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I think, like, you're talking about people who are willing to be out in negative 12-degree weather, shirtless, throwing snowballs and going ape shit and still selling that place out.
And celebrating Jameis Winston making plays.
Exactly.
I mean, Jameis Winston.
They just want a winning team.
Yeah.
They just want a fucking team that can have some success. That's all they want. They cannot be bought by like, oh, a new stadium. Like, oh, we kept, like I said, they're probably thinking like, why did we keep Myles Garrett? Let him go succeed somewhere else. Can we save some money so maybe in like 2 to 3 years we could maybe like start building to be good? But instead they're just gonna wing it and like they try to just like give people some crumbs. They're like, here, take this. We're building a new stadium. Look, and it's like, dude, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
personally, me, I would not be happy.
No,
that's just me.
No.
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't see that. That's great.
I just saw that.
Oh, that's funny.
Video was dropped 4 hours ago.
Clown of the week once again. Browns owner.
That was actually pretty close to being mine. Close.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah. My clown of the week. I forgot. I need to start writing these things down.
Sticking on relatively the same side of the country, I think this is a really big move, in my opinion, just for the sake of the quality of player that they got, especially for the price. The Ravens signed Cooper Rush to a 2-year, $12.2 million deal. Cooper Rush is an awesome backup.
Does he fill the Lamar Jackson role though? Not at all.
Yeah, but no one they're gonna get. No one you're gonna get
Tyler
is gonna
Huntley.
fill. He was not.
He was close, dude. Dude, he was a Pro Bowler. Remember?
Yeah,
he was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah, we know what that means. We know how hard it is. Yeah,
being a Pro Bowler means absolutely nothing now.
Didn't Mac Jones make the Pro Bowl?
Dude,
or no, Drake May. Sorry, not Mac Jones.
Drake May made the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl means nothing. If you disagree, argue with the wall. Don't care. I mean, I'm right, and you're wrong. And this is my show, and I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. The Pro Bowl absolutely means nothing anymore. It used to be a prestigious.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, like to make the Pro Bowl, you had to be like one of the best of the best.
Like, yo, that guy's actually pretty good. He made the Pro Bowl.
And
if you're really good, you decline the Pro Bowl invite. Or you can't be there because you're in the Super Bowl.
If your team's that good, yes. But that's also like for guys who were on teams that couldn't make. Perfect example. Myles Garrett on the Browns. He ain't making Super Bowls. He ain't even making playoffs. So a guy like him to make a Pro Bowl back, say, if he was playing 20 years ago, it's like, this is a big deal because this is kind of their Super Bowl. It's their time to shine. They're in front of the whole world with the other best players in the league actually competing against each other.
I did want to thank you for that, though, because you reminded me who my clown of the week was. Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett said that the fans know that I didn't do it for the money. The fans know that I think I can win here. The fans know. The fans know. Clown of the week?
Okay.
Myles Garrett, you definitely did all that for the money. You were being disrespected. You said you did not want to be there because of the lack of winning.
Yep.
But again, they throw $40 million in front of you a year, and you're like, you know what? I love Cleveland. Yeah. Cleveland's awesome. We're going to win two games, but we're going to win.
What in his head? What in his head? I mean, you can't. There's no way to even justify what he's trying to say because you come out and say we can't win here. I can't win here. I don't care about money. I want to go somewhere that wins. Then he gets the carrot dangled in front of him, $40 million a year, and he goes, "Okay, sure, fine. I love playing here. This is actually a really, really great town."
A guy with integrity, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah, and then now you look at like Deshaun Watson is going to have surgery again. Maybe he already did by now.
I think he already did.
But like he's supposed to miss the next. So what are you guys going to do at quarterback? Like, you think you guys are going to even be good this year? Because you're not. You're going to be trash. Like the Browns are going to be absolute trash. And even if Deshaun Watson was starting again, you're talking about a guy who hadn't played in 2 years already, was the worst signing ever before he even started for the team, starts, plays like absolute ass, then gets hurt, and you think now after not playing for 3 years that he's going to come back off a torn Achilles, even if he was to start this year, and you guys are going to have any bit of a decent season, like you guys have any type of connection between the receivers and the play caller himself, like, dude, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. And also he's a clown for his like same shit we talked about when that happened, when Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles and everybody was like cheering and Myles Garrett was like, you can't cheer for people who get hurt and blah, blah, blah. Like, we already had that whole discussion. So he was a clown for that comment too. But yeah, the Browns are a dumpster fire.
I agree.
They are a dumpster fire as a whole.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up, kind of staying on Jamar Chase, that kind of topic. Granted, it's an ML football post, okay?
Oh, God.
It's an ML football post. But he did a stat comparison in the first 4 seasons between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
So Justin Jefferson, 395 catches, 5,425 yards, 87.5 yards per YPG.
Yards per game.
Yep. And then 46 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 392 catches.
So 3 less.
5,899 yards.
400 more yards.
98.3 yards per game, but only 30 touchdowns.
So they're like dead even. I mean,
No.
Virtually.
No. I mean, close.
That's virtually dead even. It works in itself
Jamar
out.
Chase is averaging 11 more yards per game.
Yeah, 11 more yards per game, but Justin Jefferson's got 16 more touchdowns.
Agreed.
So, like, what counts more, points or yards?
That's valid.
So I'm not saying obviously
Yards
the
turn
yards
into
don't,
points though.
but I mean like it. But Justin Jefferson only 400 less total yards on 3 more catches than him, and he's got 16 more touchdowns. Like clearly he's still the number one target in the end zone.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on it. I'm just saying like that to me like it virtually still doesn't change the argument like to decide who's better for me because it's
Oh, no, I
they're
wasn't saying
so
that.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting because people were saying, how is like because people were arguing the fact of is Jamar Chase better or who's better? Does Jamar Chase deserve to be paid more than Justin Jefferson? Just that whole thing.
what really should be
But
the
then-
argument.
It's also ML football, so
It is ML football.
I
Yeah,
don't know if those stats are even true.
Yeah, very well. These stats all might be bullshit, and this whole conversation might just be useless.
For
But
nothing.
if we're really talking stats, those stats specific between those two, I think the real argument is Joe Burrow that much better than Kirk Cousins? Who's been throwing Justin Jefferson the fucking ball for his career besides 1 year with Sam Darnold?
That's true.
Kirk Cousins gets shit on a lot, and Joe Burrow's Mr. fucking Joe Cool, Mr. Burrow,
He's pretty good.
all
I mean,
this bullshit.
we've seen he's pretty good.
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just
I also
saying
think-
is Kirk Cousins maybe elite because we put Joe Burrow in the top 5. Everybody, a lot of people do.
I also think if T. Higgins is not on the Bengals, Chase's numbers are a lot better. Are a lot. Obviously, they're really good.
Yeah.
Not saying they're not good. They're really good, but they would probably be more. Because at one point in time, it was just Justin Jefferson. It was Justin Jefferson, Laquan Treadwell, Nelson Aguilar. Like that
True.
was the Bun squad. Like
That
Bad.
is true.
and
Yeah.
Alexander Madison in the backfield.
Yeah, who at the time was not that bad.
Yeah,
but
he was not that bad, but he did really well, and then immediately just like.
yeah, pretty much. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, he got sent to the Raiders, so that didn't really help him either.
Towards the latter end of his time with the Vikings, he wasn't too good. It's also
Yeah.
mostly just because that was when I was sports gambling, and I would put money on Madison, and I was like, you know what, this guy sucks. He ruined like 800 parlays of mine.
Ugh,
This guy's garbage.
yeah, it's a bummer. So I think that's funny. Speaking of Kirk Cousins, the Falcons are officially keeping him.
I did see that.
Yeah, he gets a $10 million guarantee for that $10 million roster bonus. I'm shocked. I'm shocked and I'm not.
So I definitely thought they were gonna keep him. If anyone's gonna take him on, it was more than likely gonna be the Falcons. I'm sure they probably did reach out to teams to see about getting rid of
For
him.
sure.
But no one wants to pay the money. No one is probably like, yeah, Kirk Cousins is our future,
Well, yeah, because for that money, you're getting a guy who's going to be 37 this year. And, like, you've seen what he did with the Falcons. It's kind of ass. And at a guy who's 37, his first year with your team, probably not going to be great because everyone's got to get along, find their compatibility, this and that. So
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you have to look at the second year. And he tore his Achilles 2 years ago. I mean, for that money, no one was picking that shit up.
No, I thought it was a bad contract when they did it. Like when
It
they signed
was.
him, I was like, whoa, like what are they doing over there?
yeah.
And then everyone's like, they just drafted Michael Penix Jr.
Which I love that. I like Michael Penix Jr. a lot, and I think he's going to be really good.
Yes, I would do that
But
if I didn't just pay Kirk
Nah.
Cousins $118 million. Like, what are we talking about here?
yeah, he got the bag. What he got 160 mil. I thought it was 160 million with like 120 guaranteed or some shit, or 110 guaranteed. It was a ridiculous contract.
Something nuts. Like
Yeah,
Coles, look out, that kind of money, because that guy just obviously got paid tons of money, tons of money.
yeah, that was a crazy deal. But yeah, they end up keeping him. I guess the bigger question is does he start this whole season for
I
him?
definitely think he starts,
Right, like they're paying him too much to keep him on
but
the bench.
he will not start every game for the entire year. Michael Penix will be playing by. Mark this too. Michael Penix will be the starter week 11. Week 11. They're going to be
That's
like
fair.
5-5. They're going to be like floating around 500. That's what they're going to be. And they're like, you know what? We need a spark. Start Michael Penix Jr.
they'll start off 4-1, and then end up 5-5, and that will be the spark to be like, all right, we need to put Penix in, like do
Yep.
something different.
Like, we had to try something else.
Yeah.
And they're going to put Penix in. He's going to have 3 really good games. And then they're going to be like, you know what? This guy showed flashes of being our franchise. We're going to get rid of Kirk Cousins, and Michael Penix Jr. will be out of the league in 3 years.
Oh, Jesus.
Because that's another organization that I think is not good.
I agree.
I think, like, the Falcons, they get away with it, though. They get away with, like, being kind of mid.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
shout out, I don't know if he listens. I'm sure Theo Down will probably relay the message, if anything. Elijah's my cousin, shout him out, first time on the show. Huge Falcons fan.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a Falcons fan?
So I think it all started, he was like, loved Devin Hester. So then Devin Hester, obviously after the Bears, went to the Falcons. And then I think he just like, ever since then, like he just likes the Falcons.
Roughly in the same time frame with a couple years later, they were like actually relevant and good with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
When they went to the Super Bowl and all that.
Bowl,
yeah. So,
okay. Damn.
Yeah, so he likes the Falcons. So I'm not trying to like slander him too much, but I am, because they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah, they are mid as hell.
People need to realize and start saying like, dude, they're mid.
Yeah.
And Kyle Pitts needs to go. Even though if he's there in like round 5 of fantasy this year, I might think about it. Actually, probably like round 8, because usually round 5 is when I'm drafting my QB.
Man, they're
Kyle Pitts can't keep getting away with it either. That's another guy. Jail. He needs to go to jail. Because how many times are you going to fool people? Be like, you know, guys, I'm going to be good this year. And then people are like, you know, he finally got a QB. He's going to be good. He ain't good. He had one game over 100 yards.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, I guess we could kind of play devil's advocate and say that
nothing.
Is it Raheem Morris? That's our head coach, right? Last year was his first year coaching there. So, like...
Okay, that doesn't... Kyle Pitts was dropping balls.
No. Yeah, that doesn't excuse how piss poor he had played at moments, but also, you know, again, the communication, the compatibility thing, like...
It's valid.
Kirk Cousins' first year there. Raheem Morris, first year head coach. Like, Darnell Mooney gets put into the equation, so now, like, the receiving core changed up.
Great.
Ray McLeod, like, stepped up massive at the beginning of the year and then kind of stayed...
I'm interested
relatively relevant throughout the rest of the season. So
Darnell's. I'm not trying to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I'm just actually interested to see what Darnell Mooney ended up finishing the season off with.
I'm gonna guess
stat-wise. Did he hit 1,000?
I'm gonna guess 1,221 yards.
That's generous.
It is generous, but he had a lot. He had a lot of really big games.
I met him once. At Bridges and Griffith.
That's sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look like a clown. He's gonna have like 800 yards.
Let's see. 992.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just
he averaged 15.5 yards though a catch, which is good.
He was making massive catches. He clearly became their number one.
That was only on 64 receptions.
Yeah.
That's solid. That's really good.
Yeah,
I like Darnell Mooney. He had 5 touchdowns. That's awesome. Played 16 games. I like him, personally. I think he's good. I thought the Falcons got a good one when they signed him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, the Falcons got a good one.
No, I agree.
We'll see. We'll see how things unfold for them this season. Yeah.
Chiefs let go of defensive tackle Derek Nottie.
I saw that.
The Jets signed him.
I did see that as well.
That's a pretty big move for the Jets. They've made some decent moves this offseason.
Yeah, they did a lot of offseason too.
Yeah, they did. They've actually, over the last few years, but not anything crazy, I guess.
And then we obviously all saw how that turned out.
Yeah. Also with the Chiefs, they re-signed Juju Smith-Schuster.
Did they? I actually didn't know that. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
Fall from grace, dude. I mean, he's a good run blocker. I think that's why they use him a lot.
Yeah.
His run blocking.
And sometimes he'll have catch.
Sometimes he'll have a game where he just goes off. I mean,
yeah.
It's like twice a season where it's like, whoa, Juju had a good game. People are like, Corvette, like TikTok boy. Is that what you're talking about? I was like, yeah, that guy.
I don't like him. Like I
wonder.
I didn't
know
hate
he's
him.
young. I wonder how.
He's got to be 26.
He's
by
got to
now.
be because when he got into the
27?
league, he was 19. He's 28.
28. Okay.
Yeah, he came into the league at like 19. I think. Yeah, so he came into the league at 17. So 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is just nothing major, I guess, but Jags free agent cornerback Ronald Darby signed a 1-year, $2.5 million deal with the Texans. Not a bad move. He's not terrible.
That is not a bad move.
But that's about all I got to say about that.
Juju actually had a massive year in 2018.
Yeah,
That's
like
crazy.
that was like his first 2 years. Look at his first 2. He got 917 yards
Yeah,
and then
then
1400. Like
1400.
he was shaping up to be legit, and then
Yeah, he just fell off. I mean, it was really
Yeah.
when Ben Roethlisberger
I was
retired.
just gonna say, yeah, they lost a quarterback and haven't had one for 6 years since.
Yeah, and in 2020 he didn't have a bad year. 2022 he had a solid year. He had 933 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, he really hasn't done much.
No.
He had 18 receptions for 231 yards last year. That's pretty good. Not bad.
That's great. 18
It's almost-
receptions.
It's almost 13 yards a catch.
Yeah. That was it for the NFL that I had.
I
Like,
really honestly
news-wise.
have not much else.
Well, happy opening day to MLB.
Yes, I mean,
Um,
if you're in Tokyo.
No, there's other games on today.
Is there? I thought... I actually don't know. I mean, that's just bad on me then.
I guess technically, yeah, the other games that are on are not regular season games yet. But yeah,
That's right.
the Tokyo games, Dodgers and Cubs. I did. It's nice waking up at 5:10 in the morning for work because the game started at 5:10 a.m. So I did get to watch about an inning and a half before I left. Cubs, I watched Dansby Swanson get the first hit of the year for the Cubs. I watched Miguel Amaya get the first run for the MLB this year. That was nice. And then I left, went to work, and about an hour later they were down 2-1, and then they lost 4-1. So, bummer.
Not great.
No, that sucks. But
Not great.
man,
It's all right, though.
baseball's back. It was crazy. Like watching it.
161 more games to go
It's gonna be a long season
if you're a Sox fan.
if you're a Sox fan. But I'm excited. I was watching it like this morning. Is like I said, I was literally up for like 5 minutes. I was like half asleep watching it, and I could just feel myself like waking up. Like wow, like dude, this is so sick. Also, the way like baseball is handled as a sporting event in Japan is it's like really great in its own way. Like I love crowds
Baseball
here,
is huge in Japan.
but like they're dead silent in between pitches. Like when the pitch is about to come, the entire crowd, like even the announcers were joking about it. They were like, "Oh, he's about to pitch. Hold on, shh, shh, shh." No one is saying a fucking word. It's crazy. It is dead silent. So the
Screw that.
it's
That's lame.
No, it's sick because as soon as the ball is hit, the crack of the bat is so loud, and then the crowd just goes ape shit, and then they calm back down. Like it's so cool how like different a dynamic it is over there in Japan because they're just like
Okay.
so respectful.
That's fair, but it's like I agree with that. But for me, I would be like, the whole point of the crowd is to like be a distraction for the opposing team.
Agreed. Now I don't know. Maybe in playoff games that changes. Like I'm sure it probably does get a little rowdier for
Yeah.
playoff games, but yeah, they love baseball in Japan.
Baseball's huge,
Um,
as we've seen.
Yeah, it's massive over there, but it is really interesting to watch. So if anybody can get a chance, even just for like a half an inning, watch one half of an inning tomorrow or something at 5 a.m. It is crazy how dead silent the stadium is, and it is full to the brim of people. Like you would just never guess it. It's like it's like a surprise
awesome.
party. It's really funny.
Actually, I did have one thing on baseball. Joey Votto was cut by the White Sox.
Whoa.
If the White Sox cut you, hang it up. I'm just gonna say that. Hang it up. You're done.
Maybe. I mean, they're just clearing space for their fucking stars, dude.
I guess. I guess, dude. I guess.
Joey Votto's not that good anyways. He's
He's
washed.
old. Yeah, he's just done. He's at the end of his rope. It's time to just ride off to the sunset.
Joey Votto. When did he
Or
sign?
Joey Gallo?
Yeah, Joey Gallo.
Sorry,
It's Joey
sorry.
Gallo. It's like Joey Votto
Sorry.
retired
Sorry,
last
sorry.
year.
Yes, I meant Joey Gallo.
Yeah. I didn't even catch it at first. Like it sounded weird, but I was like,
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, Joey Gallo. Yeah, hang it up because he's mid.
Yeah,
Like
he's
he was very very mid.
31. I mean, he's not crazy old, but
How many games did he play last year? Please tell me, because I see the 161 average,
um, I don't know. Let's find
200,
out.
223 at bats, right there. 223 at bats. He batted 161 with 10 home runs and what 30 RBIs, something like that. Is that what it says? 27.
Yeah, 27.
That is dreadful.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Jesus.
Not good at all. At all.
No, that's crazy.
Two-time All-Star and a two-time Golden Glove winner.
Hey, he used to be solid.
Used to.
Used to. Yeah, keyword.
Yes, used to.
Yeah, baseball's. I'm excited. I'm excited that it's back.
Yeah, I think I'm just excited for like the warm weather that's obviously, associated with it as well. I'm excited for that.
That's another part of it too. It's like that's why I guess like I got so hyped this morning watching it because I was like, damn, this is like regular season baseball's here. I'm like, that means warm weather's coming. That means like Cubs games and drinking and being outside, like everything that comes with baseball season. I will admit, I'll probably jump on the train for the first week or two, 3-ish, but it's going to be hard to keep up with baseball when it's just starting out, especially unless something crazy happens with the Cubs where they're starting off 15-0 or some shit. But
Yeah.
like playoff hockey is going to be starting. We also got March Madness going on.
Yep.
About to be.
Two things that I don't follow at all.
Yeah, but electric. And then also the NBA playoffs will be coming up shortly. So like
Three things that I don't follow at all.
Agreed. Playoff hockey, I can't help but watch. I think playoff hockey is the best. It's better than any other sport. Like playoff wise, it's better than a playoff football, playoff baseball. Playoff hockey is just a totally different animal, in my opinion. So I get like really fucking excited for that. So I can't wait for that, which also, like I said, makes it hard to watch baseball when you're like, yeah, there's like 150 more of these. I don't need to necessarily catch this one.
Yeah, it's like there's things that take priority over that.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. 100%. Got else? Anything else?
I do. I have something really important. I want to say R.I.P. in peace. David Stephen Cohen, the head writer for Courage the Cowardly Dog, died at 58 years old.
That was actually awful.
That show
actually sad. That was a great
was
show.
Incredible.
Yes, rest in peace.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah, the show actually was creepy.
That show was like what nightmares were made of as a kid.
Yeah, that was nightmare fuel.
Legit.
It was creepy.
I mean, every character was like, Courage himself, but like you look at like Eustace and Muriel, like dude, they were both like so strange, and then the creatures in the show and like some of the monsters in that show were like, geez, legit nightmare fuel.
Creepy. That was really creepy.
I loved that show though.
It was a great show.
It was a great show.
It was an awesome show. I loved it. Yeah. I got nothing else though.
Really just March Madness is another big thing. Again, I haven't followed college basketball one lick, but March Madness gets pretty interesting, and I'm probably
definitely gonna watch some stuff.
Yeah, be remiss if I didn't bring it up.
Don't obviously fill out your brackets, guys. If there were more of you, we would have had like a contest, like a bracket contest. But there's obviously not enough of you guys, so can't do that. Maybe next year. Hopefully, we'll be bigger by then. It would be cool. We would do something. I don't know what. We'd do something, but
This was a record-breaking year. Apparently, the SEC had 14 teams make it into March Madness, which is the most of all time.
that's
from
insane.
one conference. Yeah, that is insane.
Maybe the SEC tides are turning. They are no longer the football powerhouse. They are now the basketball powerhouse.
Hey, who knows? Could be. Boy, wouldn't that be a change of events?
It would be. It would
Finally see Alabama suck at football.
it would be a breath of fresh air. I think. I mean, yeah, definitely with Jalen Milroe staying, I don't think their future is looking. There's no national championships in their near future. I'll just say.
God, what was that? I can't remember who it is on College Game Day. That was it Reese?
I don't watch. I don't know.
Reese something. I don't remember his name, but he was talking about Jaden Milroe. This was from last year, and like Pat McAfee and Kirk Herbstreit and two other dudes were on the panel. These two other black guys, and they were talking about how it says Lank on his jersey, and he was telling them what it means, and he goes, he wears the word lank on
Oh
his
yeah,
jersey,
yeah.
which
I remember
stands
that.
for let
Yeah.
a naysayer know. And they were like, yo, I thought it was
Yeah.
about to go down. I'm like, that is the funniest shit. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah.
I seen that clip.
it's very funny. I like
That is a good one.
I go back and watch that occasionally, just randomly, because it is very funny listening to the reaction of like the rest of the panel and just watching facial expressions as he says that is so funny. Oh, it was great.
That was pretty good.
But yeah, I don't have any picks for college basketball. I kind of wish I did keep up with it. I did last year. Like last year, I did kind of follow it a little bit, like
Yeah.
tailing into it, and then I ended up making like some March Madness picks. Clearly, I don't know shit about college basketball, and the proof is in the pudding because my dumbass last year, which I now know I'm a dumbass for, but at the time last year, I'm like, man, Kentucky is like really, really fucking dominant. Like they are very good. I'm like, I think they're not going to win it all. And then I was informed by many, many people after they got bounced immediately that like this is Kentucky every year. They're extremely good, and then they just get bounced right in either the round of 64 or round of 32. They're gone. They never win it. They suck. They choke every year. And I'm like, well, that goes to show you how much I know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Right.
So I learned that lesson. But yeah, I'm kind of excited to watch some of them. Maybe
We'll
occasionally.
definitely be dabbling in it.
Yeah, because we have to have it for next year for sure. There's too many people that like it. There is way too many people.
No,
that
there
like
definitely is. I mean, we'll figure something out.
I think it's more entertaining than the NBA.
Yeah, I think it's just because like the stakes are so high.
The stakes are high, and yeah, exactly. Every guy's out there playing. That's a lot of reason like why people like college football too.
Yeah.
Because guys are all trying so hard. Everyone's trying because they're all trying to make it, as opposed to guys who are like, oh, I'm getting paid $41.5 million a year.
Yeah.
I think I'll just take it easy on this one.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
thankfully, our lighting looks better. And if you guys think we look better, let us know in the comments. And while you're there, you might as well go check out our X page
Yeah.
at Kindizer Podcast or Kindizer Pod. Sorry. And then you can go to our link tree and click the links there. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're listening anywhere else, don't forget to follow. Give us, I'm not going to ask for thumbs up on YouTube because obviously we're not anywhere near even, counting for us or being beneficial. So I just hope you guys enjoy the show. And we'll get the studio figured out. And we'll get something figured out so you guys can actually read that sign and we can actually utilize it to do something.
It's gonna look nice soon. It's coming together piece by piece.
It is.
It's getting there.
And spread the word. Buy some merch. I do need to update the shop. I will do that. And yeah, as always, I want to thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed.
Thanks.